Welcome to the Kings of Causeway podcast, part of the Boston Sports Entertainment Network. I'm your host, Pat Burke. Realized that maybe we've had some technical difficulties. Nobody's been able to hear me for that first minute and a half, so we are going to start over. I appreciate Jason in the chat for letting me know that nobody could hear me. Not sure why that was. Refresh the audio, trying it again. Hopefully it's working. If it's not, I don't know what to tell you. Not really a whole lot to say on this one. It was an ass whooping on home ice. This was a team that didn't seem to want to play at all the first, I don't know, maybe 38 minutes of the game. They looked slower to the puck. Florida looked like they wanted it from the word go. We kind of pushed it a little bit the first 5 minutes, and then nothing really after that. Until ultimately it was too late. The going down one goal, still only having, 2-3 shots in the first period. That something has got to change there. This is a team that needs to generate more than 6 shots by midway through the second period. At one point I think I looked and it was, Bruins 6 shots, Panthers 18. And a 1-to-3 ratio midway through the game just isn't going to cut it. This is not a series where you can get away with not bringing your A game from the offensive creativity department. And we certainly haven't had that since game one. And, Game one, it'll be what it's going to be. But this has looked a completely different team. This is not what I was expecting on home ice. Really kind of thought that, all right, we're going to come out. We're going to be, honestly, I thought we were going to play like we did between minutes, 16 and 5 in the third period from the get-go. That was a team I recognized. That was a team that I saw, and I was like, oh, I've been watching these guys all year. Yeah, all right. So, rotten luck. Pasternak gets, is puck blocked on the line by a defenseman. But, if that happens in minute 3, it sets a tone for a game in a different direction. It's not a, oh, my God, we missed the chance. It's a, we kind of felt the storm brewing there. Fact of the matter was that came when we were in full desperation mode, and full desperation mode means that you don't have a goaltender in your net, and that means that any cute and clever play by Matthew Tkachuk is going to lead to a breakout. It's going to lead to a goal. It is what it is. That is what is going to be against this Florida Panthers team. This is not a wishy-washy Florida Panthers team that doesn't deserve to be here, that scraped in on the final day. Well, remember, that Florida Panthers team actually did beat us last year. This is an even better iteration of that team. And you've got to have your A game. And we didn't. Full stop. Bruins did not have it tonight, which was alarming. And when it was 4-0, I legitimately was sitting there thinking, I don't see a way that this team gets itself back into this series. It didn't look like we had any interest, to be frank, in getting back into this series. It just didn't. And then that 10, 12 minute stretch in the third happened, and they sucked me all the way right back in. And I'm sitting here thinking, okay, regardless of whether or not we win this game or not, we've remembered we can score on Sergei Bobrovsky up high. That's where he's vulnerable. We should have had 3. It should have been 4-3. DeBrusk pipes one. A sitter on the doorstep pipes one. Another one of those, on another night, maybe that doesn't kill you. On a night like tonight, that kills you. It really does. But we've remembered, I think, that we can score on this man. This is not This is not an unbeatable giant in the Florida net. This is not an unbeatable Florida team. They were panicked there for a little bit. They were at X's and O's, and we were taking it to them. We just took it to them too late. If that's the kind of energy and aggression that's shown after giving up the first goal, you've got 2.5 periods then that we can kind of roll with there and build on that. And we just couldn't. We didn't show that aggression, that energy, that effort, that hustle, that fight, that insert, intangible there. We didn't have it. We didn't have it from anybody top down. Nobody had it except for Jeremy Swayman. Yet again, another game where the goals against is not fair to this man. He some lights out saves to keep it close, ends up, the victim of a 4-minute double minor, where the goal is given up at just the absolute worst time to give one of those up. Ends up power play on top of power play, and just but no Bruin to me showed any heart until 6-7 minutes into the third period, except for Swayman. And that's not good enough. It's not good enough. It's not good enough if you're a beer league hockey team. It's not good enough if you're in the AHL. It's damn sure not good enough if you're in the NHL in the playoffs, let alone a Boston Bruin in the playoffs. Like, that's just unacceptable. The sloppiness, the carelessness with the puck. I mean, I can't tell you. They highlighted at one point, we've got the top two guys that love giving the puck to the other team on our team in Charlie McAvoy and Hampus Lindholm. And I'll come out and say it right now. Charlie McAvoy is playing his way out of a number one defenseman contract. He actively is. Like, this is embarrassing. He can't keep the puck on his stick. He can't make passes inside his own zone. He can't initiate a breakout when it counts. It's like, I don't care if you can do that in game 23 against San Jose. I don't care. I care if you can do it in the playoffs and over and over and over and over and over again. This guy is proving he cannot show up when the lights are brightest. I asked for Charlie McAvoy to show up with some eye black, maybe turn the lights back up. He didn't do it. Doesn't want to listen to the pod? That's fine. That's on him. But then I get to say what I want to say, and that this dude cannot deliver when it matters. He just can't. He can't. I have yet to see a Charlie McAvoy performance when it truly matters, when the chips are all the way down on the ground. I haven't seen it. And it's going to be one of those things where if we lose this series, we'll be able to definitively point to a handful of opportunities like game 3 here today, where how many times did we see in the offensive zone failure to take a shot, or somehow the puck just is no longer on our stick, or a blind pass, or whatever that ends up with no one. It was a comedy of errors at one point that just, it didn't look like a playoff hockey team, to be perfectly honest. It did not look like a playoff hockey team. If you had seen that team for the first 2 periods playing down at your local rink, you probably would have thought like, oh, we're going up against them? All right, let's go. They're going to turn it over in their own zone? Cool. They're not going to be able to control it in the neutral zone? Cool. They're not going to chase hard on the forecheck? Awesome. Easy day. And then when you factor in who you're playing against, like that just can't happen. I mean, the long and short of it was, yet again, we did not deserve to win this game. They sucked me back in with a modicum of hope, making it 4-2, could have been 4-3, and then I really would have been going nuts. But I do think that a couple of key things might have been realized by this team. Number one, they're going to have to start holding each other accountable for their effort and for their decision-making and lack thereof in game. You kind of saw it towards the end there. The players kind of had a group huddle on the sideline, and Jim Montgomery, the Muppet that he is, was nowhere near it. Couldn't have been more happy. I texted my little brother, and he was just like, love it. Monty's back there with his dick in his hands and the players are just doing this themselves. It's what it's going to need. This guy sucks as a coach. I'm asking for the smoke. Give me the smoke on what, like, I don't give a flying fuck how good you are in the regular season. You don't matter. That doesn't matter. You just get to the dance. Florida proved it last. You just show up to the dance, get your ticket, top half of your conference. That's all you need to do. And from there, ride it, play how you're going to play. He's a bad coach. I don't think he's very good. I think he doesn't know what the heck he's doing half the time. I think he's scared the other half, and I think he wants to be liked on top of all that. Not once have I seen him get upset with some officiating, with some calls going our way or not going our way. Sure seemed like there was a hell of a lot of stick holding and hooking and slashing that was going on before the initial Zaka penalty. That just it wasn't called, didn't go anywhere. So that's it's a tough beat for Jim Montgomery. I don't think he's an NHL caliber coach. That's just me. I don't think he can get the boys going the way he needs to. He's kind of proven that he can't get the boy. Like, he cannot be the factor that gets the boys going. The boys either get the boys going or some external factor, like being down 4-0 on home ice and getting booed off. I don't know. They got themselves going. It was not coach coming out at the end of the third and them playing a different game. That wasn't what it was. And for that, I'm sorry, in the playoffs, you're useless if you can't get the boys going. I've said this countless times on the pod, that at this stage in the season, you're no longer conditioning. You're not doing any of the traditional coaching stuff. You never really have been. You're managing. You're emotion managing. You're situation managing. And he's garbage at it. Flat out. Think he's garbage at it. Somebody's got, a take on that. I'd love to have him on and we can debate it. My personal opinion that he's garbage at it. And that he cannot be relied on to turn the ship around, which means you then go looking at the guys that are wearing additional stitching on their sweaters. You're looking at your Brad Marchand, your Pasternak, your Charlie Coyle. Well, Charlie Coyle can't seem to play in the playoffs. Brad Marchand, he's been anonymous this series. He has. I know he had 2 great games against Toronto. That's awesome. You're the captain. We need you to have great games just about every game. Kind of why you're wearing the C. Kind of supposed to be a big deal. You just aren't. You're invisible. They're wearing their rat shades. They're doing all their things to rile you up, gripe you up. And I don't see you responding in any way. I don't see you respond. And that little face-off, square-off that you had does not fucking count. It doesn't count because then you immediately capitulated in the first period and got 3 shots on goal, none of which were by you. Like that doesn't matter. Like that doesn't matter. And Pasternak, superstar. Where in your 88s? Superstar. Where the fuck are you? Where are you? I get it. There's more attention being paid to you because you're the superstar. I get it. Superstars show up. Period. Superstars show up. You fight through that. You find a way through it, and you haven't. So, all that to say, I think we win game 4. Not even being a homer here. I think we win game 4. I think that this team cannot keep playing this poorly this many games in a row. I think this team remembered a little bit that when they turn up the intensity, when they apply pressure in the offensive zone, when they throw pucks on net, good things happen. All these things I've been saying all series, just work a little harder on the offensive zone. Throw pucks on net. Beat the first man, get the puck on the net. Don't shoot it into shins. Get pucks on net. We saw for like a 12-minute period in the third them doing that. They were the first bucks. They weren't playing ultra conservative, like they were scared they were going to give something up. You can't play like that anymore. You can't. You can't. It's time to go out there and put your balls on the line and go either take the game or just go golfing. Or just go, if you're not going to go take the game, especially on home ice, if you're not going to go take it, then just throw the towel in and walk away. Those 12, I won't lie to you guys. 2 minutes into the third, I thought we were firmly just like, well, we were a year ahead of schedule anyway. This has been fun, but we're going to leave now. Thank you. We'll see you next year. Those 12 minutes turn me around. I think this team wants to fight. They want to. They know they can. They know they can. I think I don't know if they forgot or they just thought that it was going to fall to them or something. But I think we win Game 4. And I honestly think that it's going to be a nerve-wracking and tight game. But I think we win Game 4, and we'll have a much different tone on the recap after that. But flat out, just we're good enough. We're in a good enough club today, and that sucks. I mean, that's 2 nights in a row. The Garden's just been absolutely stunned. Even if last night's stunner was a little more than tonight's from a didn't see that one coming standpoint. And that's tough. And that should not feel good in that locker room. That should be one of those. Yeah, we don't like this. We don't want to, and they should have to face the media. They should, to a man. I know that that's never going to happen, but like a lot of the important guys should have to go sit out there and explain where their effort was the first 42 minutes of the game. And hopefully they're able to start talking to each other about what we're going to do a little differently going into Sunday night, because the fact of the matter is less than 48 hours, we're going to be doing the same dance again in what I genuinely think is a must-win game. I don't think we have the mental fortitude or the overwhelming advantage in any department, forward, defense, or goalie. We don't have the overwhelming advantage in really any of them to necessarily win a must-win game on the road down 3-1. So I do think it's a must-win game, but I'm also calling it now, and I think we're going to win it. I think they show up. I think they get it. Something's gotta happen. After in 2011, after the first game in Montreal, they had a couple of days off. They went to Lake Placid. Side of the 1980, Olympic gold medal team, and kind of had just a team bonding experience. I understand we don't have the time to do something like that right now, but you'd like to see something like that happen where the team comes together and sits down and has like a no shit, hey, are we going to fight for one another or aren't we? Because if we're not, then let's just pack it in. But if we have any self-respect and if we're going to be fucking hockey players, let's go out there and show some gumption. So show some fight from puck drop. regardless of the shady refereeing, regardless of any of that. Just show the effort. If the Bruin team spirit and the effort is there in game 4, I think we win that game. I think we win that game close, but maybe not like overtime close. And I think we've got a real shot to kind of come back into this series and make it a bona fide series. You know, you can't only play 12 minutes and expect to win a playoff game. Wouldn't matter if it was against Florida, Tampa, Toronto, Carolina, hell, even Washington. You couldn't just play 12 minutes and expect to win. We only played 12 minutes tonight. We only showed up for 12. And that's something that I would love to be in the room to just ask, like, hey, any thoughts on why we only showed up for 12 minutes? Might want to change that going into a must-win game at home on Sunday. All right. I'm going to let you guys get to the weekend. Hopefully on Sunday we have coffee back and we can go over, what happens in game 4. Till then, follow the Mother Network at BSEN_617. We are the Kings of Causeway, as always. I know it was a tough one, but it's not over till it's over, and I refuse to give up all the way on the guys until you lose 4 in 7, and we haven't done that yet. It's only 2. So till Sunday, be well. We'll talk to you then.